Hey, I'm Sandy Rakowitz of One Heart Healing Center, and I have a series of classes called the Awaken Animal Communication series. And one of those classes is called Awaken Your Inner Dr. Dolittle, 7 steps to discover and develop your intuitive and psychic abilities to communicate with animals. And I called it this for very specific reasons. Okay, so like the Dr. Dolittle reference, for those of you who know the movie and the story, that's pretty obvious. It's a doctor who learns to who opens his ability and sense to communicate with animals. But the awaken part is really very important for me, and I believe for all of us. And when I was first learning about animal communication back in the 1980s and I was going to say 70s, back in the 1980s and early 1990s, I would work with somebody, a meditation teacher or an animal communicator, and they would say things like, okay, center yourself, ground, and connect with all that is. And I'd be like, is anybody else getting this? Okay, I'll get center. Okay, I'm gonna ground. I'm gonna grow that root really deep. But I was really not so able to do those things. They say, okay, connect through your heart. I said, okay, I know, I love my horse. Okay. And okay, quiet your mind, empty your mind. That's a real favorite. A lot of people say that. And I'd be working really hard at clearing and emptying my mind. But what would really happen is my mind would get more and more revved up. So I got this horse around the same time, maybe a little bit before I started doing animal communication, because this horse, Ibis, is the horse that got me into all of this wonderful different ways of working with animals and being with myself and being with animals and with people. And so I had a lot of trouble learning about. I was not one of those that I remember, opening all of my psychic abilities, or my psychic abilities were all open widely when I was a kid. That wasn't me. There were openings. I was highly intuitive, but these kinds of things were not easy for me. Like to come from a place of knowing what I was doing and do that on purpose all the time and consistently, and to hear what I thought was a way of hearing was not my strength. And so I struggled, and I actually sat down trying for quite a while because I was pretty disheartened about it. And but this wonderful horse kept me going with this. He's now about to turn 36. That was over 30 years ago. So he kept prompting me with our challenges in our relationship, basically, to open and expand and try things differently than what I already knew. I was training horses and teaching riding, and everything that I knew didn't really quite fully work with this guy. And he, part of our purpose together is about this opening, right? And then sharing what we've learned. And this particular class is what I learned, what he helped lead me through, different steps and different parts of my experience and training, chunking the steps down in ways so that you can really get it. So that even if you don't understand some of those particular ways, that you can find these things inside of yourself. I lead you through 7 very specific steps, and I go into depth with them, and I really bring in a lot with the chakra systems. I have a lot of training with all of that at the Barbara Brennan School of Healing, and talk about all of that. But really what I want to, share with you right now is for those of you who have tried, been in similar shoes to me, to quiet your mind, find these different aspects of yourself so that you can connect with your intuition, ironically, right? I got through my own intuition about ways to sink in differently, ways to find those connections. And so I share those kind of secrets in a way. It really comes about teaching in a different way than a lot of communicators because of my challenges in the past with doing that. And I know that your animals want you to learn this. I know that your animals, because they tell me, I know that your animals really seek out your deepening those connections with yourself and with them. And so check it out. Go to my website, One Heart, spelled out O-N-E, onehearthealingcenter.com, and click under products, and you'll see all the different classes that I have on energy healing and pet hospice and working with challenging, calming behaviors with animals and so forth. But right now, I want you to really focus on this animal communication and join me.